How are you? Happy TGIF. Every Friday, it reminds me of my podcast that I am so eager to start. And I guess when life aligns for me to start it, I will. So, this is all that I can do at the time being. But what's up? Happy Friday. I am going to be really brief with my India talk today. So for today, let's check in. I had a pretty chill day. Tonight is an event going on with a friend that I know. He plays in a band, and all summer long, I kept missing the karaoke event. Just the time and the day didn't align. And so I signed up for it. It's tonight. I seen him on, what was that, Monday? And I'm like, yeah, send me the link. I'm going to sign up. And then I literally took me all week until yesterday. I signed up. And then after I signed up, I just been thinking like, I want to back out of it because I don't have a singing voice. I can't sing. But I was able to challenge myself. This year is about challenging myself and getting far away and out of my comfort zone as humanly possible. So I was like, today, as I was walking my daughter to school, I was praying over us. And in my prayer, I was like, oh yeah, later tonight, Mama's going to be doing karaoke. And after I dropped her off, I walked over to the little convenience store that I always get my Celsiuses and my little snacks for the day. And as I was walking, I seen him and I started laughing. And I was like, oh, no way I seen you. I was like, this is a confirmation sign that I gotta go through with the karaoke tonight. And then I was in the store for like a minute. And then I left out and I was leaving out. I seen him again. So I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'm doing karaoke tonight. And I gotta delete some stuff on my phone, but I'm gonna record it and post it. Let's just see what happens, what comes from it. And I'm gonna sing. I don't have a singing voice, but I have a voice, so that's what they're gonna get. Other than that, my day was pretty chill. The weather is beautiful. The sun's out. It's a little breeze, but it's not cold. I had to take off some layers. I need to really get myself a jacket. I don't have a jacket. Hello, Get Fit. How are you? And so I'm just out here making a way every day out of no way. And yeah, I made it through another week. I'm always happy on Friday. I'm like, wow, Friday, I made it through another week of just this crazy year in life in the path that God's got me on, which led me to want to do what I'm talking about today. Hello, Zachariah. I love your name. I have had a year that has really helped me get super clear on the lifestyle that I'm attracting, the lifestyle that I'm going to soon be living. And if you've been on my life before, what's up, Chris? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing today? I'm good. I'm good. Still getting on my signals about moving to Texas every single day. But I'm good. How are you doing? And thank you, Zachariah. Apologies. So I have been writing the kind of lifestyle that I want to live, but I was writing it as for a family unit, for a family that I was trying to turn a house into a home and like all that good stuff. And a lot of stuff was falling apart, and I was just like, Dad, and it was almost like I'm pulling teeth to get this person to invest, because everything that I wrote was coming from me, but I was making it inclusive without getting any. Oh, thank you, Zachariah. Okay, I love that. Oh, thank you. Okay, chilling while you watch my Breaking Bad. Okay. Oh, Breaking Bad is a good series. Enjoy it. So I did a live yesterday. First of all, I told you guys I'm applying to be on Wheel of Fortune. It's been like a kid's dream of mine, a childhood dream to be on Wheel of Fortune, because I'm so good with words and I'm so I'm obsessed with words and definitions and all that stuff. So I'm applying to be on Wheel of Fortune. And I was doing my talk yesterday, and I was sharing that nobody believes me. I'm going to be living in a penthouse. I found this. Oh, Chris, you're here. I was researching. I did a whole live about it. I don't want to get into it because it's going to take up too much time. But I had a whole thing where last week I was going into the downtown here. I went into the Tower Square. I had to use the bathroom. And as I walked up, or I was on the escalator, I seen a sign that said penthouse. And it just dawned on me, like, yeah, that's it. I have not been able to figure out what. I'm in Massachusetts. I haven't been figured out this year. At the beginning of the year, I was really set on my mind that I'm going to get a mobile home due to homelessness. So I was like, I'm going to get me and my daughter a mobile home. One, because I want to travel the world. I want to do cross country. And I just want to drive and be able to see things. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to get me and my daughter a mobile home. That way, wherever we're at, it's home. And the more that I was doing research, and the more that I would see ones, I'm like, oh, they're too big. And then I got out of that mindset of, well, India, you're not going to be driving it. You're going to have a chauffeur, because that's part of my PCL. So PCL is something that I started a few years ago. That stands for Private Catered Lifestyle. And it was inclusive of a family. And this year, I've been really, when I'm talking to people, I'm always asking them, what's their dream? And some people can't express to me what their dream is, and some people can. And so I'm keeping a journal of it, because I'm telling you, when God blesses me, I'm going to just bless these people that have crossed my path that have no idea. Thank you. Happy birthday, Kalia. You moving on up like the Jeffersons. Facts! So, my live today in my description, I keep putting the title in the descriptions. So, my description says, other people can teach you what you don't want if you pay attention. Now, for me, this applies throughout my whole life. The way that I see people in relationships and just like how they live their lives and they fall into these addictions, they've always been examples of what I don't want to become, or what kind of relationship I never want to have, or what kind of parent, first and foremost, what kind of parent I never wanted to become or be like. This year has really set in motion for me of how I want to live. So when I was creating my private catered lifestyle, I was just creating services that I wanted. So I was like, I want to be in a position where I can pay people and basically have my own team, a private catered team of people to do things that I don't want to do. Not that I don't like to do or can't do it, because I do them, but I'm going to get to that point of life where I just have my own maid and a chauffeur and a chef. Those are like my top 3 things. I've been adding to this list for several years now. I was telling you guys the other day, I was in the library and I was talking to the security guard, and I was sharing one of my dreams with him, and he gave me a reaction that I don't typically get. People like roll their eyes or be like, yeah, but you need a lot of money, or you need to move here, you need to do this, and that may never happen, or you got hit the lottery, which I'm gonna do. So I was sharing with him about what I just said, and he was like, I could really see that happening for you. And he was like, when you get to that level of life and you get blessed, you're gonna need security. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about security. He was like, yeah, you're gonna need security, so make sure you add security to your list. And I was like, wow. And that was an affirmation, confirmation. So I added it to my list right then and there, because I was like, look, I carry it around with me. And he was really inspired by that. So I have all the things that I want to pay for, but I really been struggling with, how do I want to live? And I thought I wanted to have a big house. And then, like, living in this house, I realized that I don't want to have a big house with multiple floors and all these stairs, especially like being with my daughter's father and his mom. They used to make a whole big thing about the stairs. So I was like, I don't want to have stairs in my house. So many things I've got turned off by. And then I was like, I want to have land, which I still want to have land. But as far as living, I was like, I want to have a house with a big yard so I can have my own farm and grow my own food. And I did that living there at the house that I ran away from. And it's not something that I would want to do. I would still want to have a space where I could grow stuff, because I'm very in love with plants and herbs and spices and all that. But do I want to have a home, like a physical standard home? At the beginning of the year, I was pretty sure I do not want to have a home. I don't want to have a standard place where I'm living. So that's why I went with the mobile home. But talking with people and like living with my friend and just seeing the stuff that goes along. I mean, I was just living in the house, but a lot of stuff I was not mentally there to really have the clarity of this is not what I want. When you have a house, when you own a home, there's so much that people spend their time attributing to this home. With the change of seasons, you gotta rake, you gotta snow, you gotta pluck the weeds, you you gotta do all this outside care, and then you gotta do all this inside care. And it's too time consuming. I can think of a million and one things that I want to do with my time for my day, and it's not catering to the headaches that come with being a homeowner. Now, there's a lot of people that like that. Like the guy that I see every time that I go over here, he was bragging to me yesterday, like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I got to my yard, it looks amazing. And I'm like, great. You said that you have a house here and you don't deal with any of that. What do you mean? You don't? Well, you're in Texas though. You don't have 4 seasons. So 4 seasons, the leaves are falling. Doesn't Texas have palm trees? Like the leaves here are falling. You have to rake, you have to snow, you have to put down salt, you got to pluck your weeds. And if you've got a little farm area that you're growing, you got to attend to that every single day and check on your stuff. So I did that, and I was just like, yeah, moving in my future, I don't want that. Now, something that has been very clear to me this year is space. I need space. I need as much space, expansive space that I could possibly have. One, because me and my daughter have been restricted. We're sharing this space with a room with 2 beds in it, and that's pretty much it. And then at the house that we were in, that house was my daughter's father's mother's house. So when we moved in there, they left all their stuff. Like they had got a new house and they just left all their stuff. So I spent 5 years trying to clean out these fucking hoarders. Excuse me, I'm trying to work on my cussing. I spent 5 years trying to clean out all of their hoarding stuff and make space and make room. And so I have a whole thing with room. And so when I was thinking about you have a hot season and maybe rain. All right, cool. It still doesn't deter me from I don't want to have a house. Like I don't want to have a yard. None of that. I just got so crystal clear because I seen that sign about the penthouse. And I was like, oh, I did research on it. Because I woke up last Sunday and God said, look up the word penthouse. So I was like, okay, anything God tells me to do, I take immediate action on it. So I looked it up. And as I'm doing the research on like a penthouse, like not about how much it costs and all that stuff, because like I said, God is going to be my sponsor. God is going to fund my lifestyle and my dreams that I'm writing down. Like if you want your life to change and you have things in your life that you want, start to write it down. Because once you write it down, real-ish happens. And I have journals that could prove all the stuff that I did. I wrote it down first. Anywho, I looked up penthouse and everything I was able to lock in. It's like expansive space. I need space for my daughter to be able to run around. And we've been restricted, even the house that we were living in, and now we're in this room. We're restricted where my daughter can't run around, and she's very energetic. And I don't have typical rules that most people have for their kids. I want my daughter to run around and explore and feel like her home is a peaceful place where she could be herself and do whatever she wants to do. And I'm not trying to make sure that everything is always so neat and perfect and not getting dirty and don't make messes. Like I want to make my daughter a sensory room. I want to make my daughter a play-doh area and like a painting area and a costume where she can dress up all the stuff that she likes to do. I want to create that for her, and I want to make as many messy memories that I possibly can with my daughter, because you're not getting this house, basically a box, to keep it like, yes, you're going to keep it clean and up to par, but the rules that people have for their house and the way that they treat their kids, like you living in a museum and this is not your home and this is not your sanctuary and this is not your peace. Like, I grew up like that, and that shit doesn't make any sense to me. And so I said expansive space. Ever since getting locked up, I'm not trying to convince you land is more valuable than money. Yeah, I know that I'm going to get some land, but the reasons of why I want land has now changed. But the other thing about the penthouse is, ever since I got locked up, when I was locked up, I was like, I'm gonna get me a house at the time that has lots and lots of windows, because in there was no windows and you can't see outside. And then there was like a fake oasis. I hated it, so it made me like hyper focus on windows, because I'm very much like, I don't like fluorescence lights or LED lights. I like natural light from the sunlight. So I was like, I'm gonna get a house. When I was locked up in there, I was journaling, and I was like, I'm gonna get a house that's like windows all around, big expansive windows. So when I looked up penthouse, and penthouses have floor to ceiling windows with panoramic views, I was like, oh yeah, God, you're really aligning me to the lifestyle that I've been slowly creating and like scribbling out and adding and readjusting. And this year I've been stripped of everything but my clarity and my focus of where I'm going and what I want and how I want it. That's what God is blessing me with. So I was like, I'm gonna get a penthouse. And then the other thing about penthouse, Chris, I'm glad that you're here, because I shared this, and I don't, maybe other people didn't appreciate it, but you can. The other thing about penthouse, I looked up the origin of the word penthouse, and penthouses it comes from an old French word, apprentice, and penthouses were created not as an actual house, but they were like a sloping roof attachment added onto sides of buildings or people's houses back in the day. And it was a small sloping little roof area that was not suitable for living, and it was only used, penthouses were created to be used as storage units. So I was like, this is definitely another confirmation about I'm gonna live in a penthouse, because I was just living in a house that I was trying to make a home. And that's the last thing that person said to me, is that this is not a home, this is a storage unit. Because I spent all the time cleaning out their area. That's how they treated their space. And then he's the kid, so I was laughing hysterically. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you're appreciating my autodidactness. I teach myself things all the time. I love learning. I love educating myself, and I love sharing fun facts. And I love people who love fun facts and say, I didn't know that, and now it's in your mental Rolodex. So I didn't know that either. And so I was like, when I seen that storage unit, I was like, more confirmation, because I was just trying to make a house a home, and somebody told me it was a storage unit, not a home. What kind of issue is that? Anywho, so I was like, I'm gonna live in a penthouse. And then I thought about Texas. So I was like, let me look up penthouses in Texas. And the first thing that came up was penthouses in Austin, Texas. So I went, looked through them, and they were looking okay, but they were looking small. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna live in a small penthouse. I'm gonna live in a big penthouse. And so I looked up a couple places, and then something caught my eye called the Victor, and it's in Dallas, Texas. So I went to go looking it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything was just in alignment. I've been doing my lives all summer and all through this Indian summer, and I'm like, yo, bees every day surround me and my daughter, and I could be in crowds of people and they just are surrounding us, like, and they're supposed to be about transformation and alignment and all that stuff. So in the Victor, their walkway and the outside is honeycombs. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're in Dallas? Okay, cool. I did not know that you're in Dallas. I'm gonna be living in Dallas soon, in this penthouse at the Victor. Yo, I was like, oh shit, it has honeycombs in the entrance, and it's gold. I have a whole thing with gold. So I'm like, okay. I went, I looked, I'm looking, and then something caught my eye. It has 40 floors, and the penthouses are on numbers 38, 39, and 40. So now in my journal, I'm gonna be living in the Victor luxury apartments on the 40th floor in the penthouse, because 40 is my number. I've been talking about that a lot too. And then the other interesting thing, I told you I have a thing with the color blue, which I have a top on the top of my dress. But oh, you're so sweet, B Wayne, thank you. And you said that's downtown Dallas. I have to double check on that, Chris. I don't know. I just know that everything was hitting and I kept getting signs. So like at the top 3 floors where the penthouses are, they're enclosed all glass, but the glass is blue, and it's referred to blue glass jewel box. So I was like, oh, and the color blue. I'm definitely going to be living here. And there's no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences that it only has 40 floors. And the 40th floor are the biggest and the tallest of the penthouses. The number 38 and 39, they're expansive in width, but they don't have that the height. And they're actually smaller. These ones I was looking at, I was like, dang. I really want to get a 3-bedroom one, but the 3-bedroom one has 3 bathrooms. I don't need 3 bathrooms, so I'm just gonna get a 2-bedroom one. And I don't use a living room. I have no use for a living room. I don't sit down and watch TV, and I don't want to have just like the typical living room or nothing. So I'm gonna use that living space to create the sensory area for my daughter to play in. So I'm already like documenting it and jotting it down, but I was like, there is no coincidence. Then I went and followed this page on Instagram, and I was going to all the things that they had with penthouses for the videos and stuff, and I just was commenting like, I'm gonna live on the 40th floor. I'm gonna live on the 40th floor. Because I'm telling you, when you have your mind set on something, and when you're attracting it to yourself by becoming an attractive person, and when you're in alignment, when you're jotting it down, you're journaling it, and you have the faith. Most people have the opposite of faith, which is they'll believe something once they see it. And that's the opposite of faith. You have to believe something before you can physically see it, before you can physically hold it in your hands. And if you can see it in your head, you can most definitely hold it in your hands. And everything starts on paper. That's why I'm really advocating that you start journaling stuff down, because they don't start making buildings or anything that comes to fruition that you could physically see. They create a blueprint on paper first. They sculpt it out, they write it out, they draw it out, and then they start to build it. And that's how you get facts. Walk by faith, not sight. Yes. And most people just have sight. They can only see with their eyes, and they don't have insight. And you need that faith and the insight and the belief system, because belief works. Most people don't have their own belief. They're waiting for somebody else to believe things for them, and that's not how belief works either. Belief works like this. If there's me and you, Chris, I can believe in you, but I can't believe for you. And most people be looking for other people to believe things for them. And they don't even, 1, believe it themselves, and 2, they don't even believe in themselves. So it leaves a lot of room for error and things to not come to fruition, because you're missing the key components. Let's say, you said, make sure to get yourself some protection. Not sure how you feel about protection, but you're a sweet woman. Okay, so I have my CDL and I own a gun. That's another thing. I need to get a gun safe, and I want to have a collection of guns. I love guns, and this year for my birthday, I am gonna get myself a bow and arrow, because I love archery, and I have not been to the gun range in forever, but they have archery. But I need to shoot my gun. I need to get some new guns. That's all like in the future, but I'm gonna add a bow and arrow to that. And it's funny that you mentioned privacy, because that's why people who are financially in the position to do so, the reason that they get penthouses is for privacy and security. And so what's set for me is that I'm like, yeah, I want to have a penthouse so that I'm up high and I could watch and see everything. and I don't have the physical demands and responsibilities that come with a typical house. And penthouses have foyers, and they also have terraces, so I can still have the area to create like a deck or a little area where I could grow stuff or have my plants and all that stuff. So I just need a little bit of space like that, but I want to be high up. And then penthouses also have private entrance. Am I saying that word? Entrances. So even though they're in a building, penthouses are usually inside of buildings or hotels. You don't have to go in through the normal way that everybody else is going through. Like, you gotta have your own private entrance and exit. So I'm all about privacy, security, and peace. And I think being high up and having that luxurious feel, waking up to like phenomenal views and having open space where my daughter can run around and just like be herself and create my own heaven while being up in the sky. I just had a whole thing. So I was like, I'm gonna have a penthouse. And I'm still gonna have land. I still have those things. You said, when is my birthday? Yeah, you can believe me because I have no reason to lie. Yeah, I do believe you. So I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I was just talking about belief, like belief system. Like, if you said you wanted to do something grandiose, I could believe it for you. But in order for you to manifest it, you have to believe it for yourself. You have to have that belief in you. Not, you know that saying, like, it's in you, not on you type of thing. That's how belief works. Like, it's in you, not on you. Other people could put it on you. Like, I believe you could do this. I believe you could do that. But if you don't believe it, you'll never manifest that. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. And then you said, when's my birthday? December. It's coming up. I'm about to be 40. That's why I'm telling you, yo, 40. I see that shit all day, every day. And something ironic happened this week. Now when I see the number 40, if I'm out wandering or doing whatever, I see a Texans license plate immediately after. And I'm just like, God, you're blowing my mind with this. So it's very interesting. You said 40 is the shit. That's mad funny. I don't know. I'm walking into 40 and that's why I feel like, oh, this, in life, sometimes you feel like you're being pulled back. But I also think about bow and arrows. Like, you're being pulled back to be propelled. So I've been being pulled back a long time. And then I was just like stripped of everything and had to leave everything. And another ironic thing, since we're talking about the storage unit, I have been able to get everything out of that storage unit that I wanted. It's not even a storage unit, out the trailer, which is now being used as a storage unit. Something I bought for somebody else's dream. Using my magic on people. That is one of the lessons I learned, to stop using my magic on people and to use it on myself and my daughter. So now something I bought for somebody else as their dream is now being used as a storage unit for my stuff. But I was like, I've been able to get everything out of there slowly but surely. And now the only thing that's locked up in there is all my winter clothes. You would like to donate for a bow and arrow? Yes, please. I was taking donations. I don't even know how much they cost. I need to look into that. I know where to go to buy them, but I don't know how much they cost. But I will take that donation for sure, because I want to get my archery on. But I was like, dang, all my winter stuff is in there. And I've been very adamant with my friend, like, oh, I want to go and get the rest of the stuff, so I can give this person back the key, and I have no reason to go or in this direction or back to that house for anything. And then I was thinking about it, like, which made me write down. I have my journals, and I wrote down, thank you, God, for allowing this to be my last winter. This is my last winter here. That's why every day I'm just out here walking. I'm enjoying whether it's cold, whether it's windy, whether it's foggy, whether it's raining, because this is my last time experiencing this. And my life is going to look a lot different by this time next year. And I love to have these videos. So when I'm living the lifestyle, and maybe it will bring envious, maybe it'll bring jealousy, maybe it'll be inspiring people. I can show people I was homeless. I was living with somebody. I had to leave my house and my cars and all the typical stuff that we work so hard to have, to feel like this is what makes you successful, or this is what makes you be an adult, or all these type of things. And I've had to let all those things go and dream bigger and manifest bigger and attract bigger. And that was a life that I did the other day, is in order to attract what you want, you gain it by becoming an attractive person. And some people had they didn't understand it, they didn't comprehend. And I can only help people think. I can't think for them, so whatever. Yes, I would like to take your donations. I don't know how that would work though. I don't know how that works. And you said your baby is due January 7th. Oh, do you know what you're having? Oh my gosh, January 7th. They're going to be a Capricorn. You know how I feel about Capricorns. But I won't feel that way about your beautiful, innocent baby. Congratulations. That's going to come so fast. So that's exciting. I want to have more. I want to have some more kids. Specifically, I want to have twins. I wrote that down too. I'm going to have twins. And they're going to be fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. And I already have their names. And yeah. So I'm excited about that too. Whenever life sees fit to like allow that to happen. But congratulations. Oh, it's your first boy. Aw, that's exciting. Well, yeah. That's exciting. I think that you're going to make a great boy dad. Is that the right terminology? Boy dad, I think. I think it'll make great, you know. That's why I'd be encouraging you to like change your lingo and don't be handing down that kangaroo mentality and using the N-word and all that. But anyways, congratulations. That's exciting. And I'll remember that, January 7th. You know what? It's so funny. You just said that, it made me think about something. I keep being in alignment with people that are helping me have a different perspective. That's so funny because I just did a live yesterday saying, learn to develop having a different perspective on existing experiences. And my friend that I live with, her husband or ex-husband, yay! See what I'm saying? I love that. I love that for you. I love that for you. Congratulations. You have moved up in the frequency world. You're vibrating a little bit higher. My friend, her husband, ex-husband, it was a whole situation. Ironically, his birthday is the same exact birthday that of my daughter's father. So when we first got there, I was like, oh my gosh, like, why do they have the same birthday? Like, what does this mean? It has to mean something. And then as the birthday just passed in September, we celebrated him. And it was a new celebration. It was a new way to relieve me of having negative thoughts or anything that had to do in association with said person. And so now when you just said January, when I think about that, I'm like, oh, earth signs. I'm going to think about your baby boy. Because not everybody is bad. Their earth sign or whatever the case may be. I think that God is aligning me with people and places that are the exact same, so that when I think about it, I have a different perspective and I don't have to harp on, oh, these people remind me of like a negative experience or having negative things to say about people on those days or with those signs or in that frequency and energy. So thank you for sharing that for me, and your baby boy is gonna be awesome. Yo! Oh my gosh, where did it go? Yo, this is gonna sound so crazy, There's a jumping spider on me. Please go. Please go. I think I'm going to get a pet spider. Oh my gosh. I have to say that for another live, but that's funny that this spider, it was just crawling on my phone, crawling on the table, and I was just on my dress. Oh, that was my side thing that I left out. I got my shirt on top of my dress, but on Fridays, I don't know if you ever see Mean Girls, and they'd be like, on Wednesdays, we wear pink. I hate the color pink. So I made a whole new thing of on Fridays, we wear blue. Or I wear blue, because it started when I was going to therapy. Like, I have therapy on Fridays, and I was like, I'm gonna wear blue because this man and his family are obsessed with blue, and I was trying to work on my relationship at the time. And then also when I was locked up, everything was blue, because blue is supposed to be a color of depression and sadness and all that stuff, and I'm gonna spin that shit. But you said, how's my baby doing? She's doing good. I was sharing yesterday that, or not yesterday, a couple nights ago, I did a late night live, and damn, I need to charge my phone. I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to get us a Uber when we get off the bus. She's doing good. Yesterday or this week, when I bring her to school, one of the teachers, I go to therapy, they give me a pill. Don't take it. Don't take it, Chris. Yeah. I rebuked all that. I'm still looking into therapy. I'm looking to get into EMDR therapy specifically. All right, I'm going to go out of the sun. I got to charge my phone. I got like 10 minutes. Let's see what we get. And I'm going to have to end this live because let's see if I can post on my phone over here. Can I put it like this? No. All right, I'll just hold it. The school is recommending to put her in music. Thank you. To put her in music classes and to sign her up to be able to go to this music school that's really popular here in Springfield. And it's like they have top of the line equipment, top in the state. She was telling me like all these facts, and I was like, wow, okay. And they're gonna pay for it, so they're trying to set her up, because she's like, she is so intelligent and she is so smart. And so she was like, she's so advanced. She was like, she's able to pick up music by ear naturally. And she was like, the things that she's doing in the music class, you don't start being able to learn how to do that until you're in like 3rd and 4th grade, and even then you have to learn it. So I'm like, somebody has to teach you how to do it. She was like, she just picks it up naturally. And she was like, I would recommend you put her in, she called it something specifically, and she was like, but I don't want to push it. She was like, are you open to her being able to do this extracurricular music thing, and then she might be able to get placement into the music school? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And they're gonna pay for it. But she was giving me like all this amazing feedback, and I was so proud. And it made me think about how I just went through 4 years advocating for my daughter, and I know that my daughter is intelligent, and I know that she's smart, and that she's a genius. And I've had to just go to bat with people calling my daughter dumb and stupid and retarded and all this stuff, because they're so worried about words. And I had to switch the way I looked at stuff, because I'm like, there's so many people that know how to communicate with words, and they don't know how to communicate still, even with words. And they're terrible communicators, and they use their words to be negative and to be spiteful and to be mean. So I'm not even focused on that. I'm like, if you focus on all the other things that she's able to do. And so I did a whole live about it. But thank you for shouting her out. And yes, I am scared of bugs. Her family, my family, it's been 4 years of hell. That's why I'm so glad. You know, I was looking at my journal, and I wrote that down. I wrote like, God, please get me away from these people. God's always answering my prayers, yo. It's funny. But you said, am I scared of bugs? Yes, I am definitely afraid of spiders. And that's the thing about Texas. Like, if I move to Texas, Texas has a lot of mosquitoes. Your mosquitoes don't die off. Everything dies off here in the winter, and they're not as big. So I'm gonna have to get used to mosquitoes, snakes, and I don't have to deal with snakes here. If you do, they're garden snakes. And so I'm like, so that's why I'm like, oh, all summer I've been surrounded by bees, and I'm not afraid of bees, but my daughter has allergies. I have to carry EpiPens with me everywhere, and thank God I have not had to use them. But so that's what I'd be afraid of. And then they're swarming us, which made me look it up. And I'm like, oh no, this is trying to help me adapt and prepare, because where I'm gonna move to, it's gonna be bugs all the time, especially if I'm trying to move somewhere where it's hot all the time. You say, yeah, but winter doesn't have any bugs. I know, but here we have spiders. Like in your house, there's always spiders. So at my friend's house, in the room, it's only our room too that we're sharing. That room is full of spiders. And I've really been working on the last couple years since I started a garden of not killing bugs, spiders, anything. So I'm like trapping them and tossing them out the window in the room. And then there was just that spider on me. But the other day I had a dream, and it was like telling me to get a pet spider, a tarantula. And I don't know why. Like to overcome my phobia. And I was like, oh. And even in the room now, when I see them, I don't freak out or nothing. I just feel like, oh, a spider. But I do be still kind of afraid of them. That was another thing that deterred me from wanting to move to Arizona, about the scorpions. Oh, child, I can't deal with that. So we'll see. He said, look up our weather on the weather app. It's actually cooling. Okay, well, I just keep getting all these signs about Texas. And now ever since I looked up that penthouse thing, I'm definitely moving to Texas. And I'm telling you, when my life comes to fruition, people are going to ask me how I did it. And I'm going to be able to explain and show and prove. So it is what it is. I gotta go. Y'all were awesome. You're awesome. Thank you, Chris, for getting on and stop watching your or I don't know if you stopped watching it, but you're engaging with me pretty good. So I'll let you get back to enjoying Breaking Bad, and I have literally 6 minutes. So if you want to ask me anything before I wrap it up and get off, feel free to do so. I'm always watching my surroundings. I left my bags and everything all over there, and everybody's pulling up for school let out. I'm telling you, your baby father will be calling you Chris. What are you talking about? Why are you affirming this in the chat? This is Chris. Why are you affirming this? He's not gonna be calling me. I did unblock him. And I did reach out and I said, hey, do you want to, the weekend coming up is going to be, the weather's going to be like 70 degrees here. And that's rare. In October right now, it's cold. You got to have your winter jacket, your scarves, your hats. It's cold and the sun don't be out. I'm telling you, this is God answering my prayers and prepping me. Every day I'm standing in the sun and I'm like, yeah, I'm be feeling this every day in the sun. And I'm like, thank you, God, for answering my prayers and giving me an extended summer, especially because I'm out here walking and taking the bus. It could be like so much worse, and I could be carrying way more stuff with all the stuff I would have to like carry around with layers. So I'm like, thank you, God. You are answering my prayers. You are always answering my prayers. God's always protecting me. And I got to get so in tune with the relationship that I'm building with God to really live this life that it's all coming from God too. It's all coming from God. These things that I didn't pull out of a hat or just wake up one day and say, I want to have this and I want to do this and I want to do this. My other thing is I said, real quick, Chris, because you're here. I was like, yo, the other day I had an epiphany because all year I've been really focused on getting a car. Thank you, Chris. You're awesome. I don't know. I don't even try to focus on those people anymore. I just rock with who gets me. When I come into the library, I haven't went in the library, so they're not going to see me today. But they love me in this library, and they just give me awesome experiences. And I don't know what I just heard something the other day, or today when I was listening to my friend's podcast of you spend a lot of time or investing your time into people who you shouldn't, or something like that. And I've spent a lot of time doing that. But I had an epiphany of like being on the bus And then having my friend, she drives us around to like errands and stuff that I gotta go do. And I was like, this is getting me in alignment with that chauffeur, because I don't even like to drive. I hate driving, to be honest. And I've been saying I want to have a chauffeur. And so I did a whole live about it yesterday of how God's giving me the free 99 version. And if I'm being so appalled about getting on the bus or having help of that I'm not used to people doing things for me. I'm not used to having to ask for help or be dependent on people. So this is God's way of testing me of like, if you really want these things you say, like, are you going to take it at this level that's considered low and like bottom of the barrel type of thing? And I'm like, yeah, this is manifesting me to have my chauffeur. Another thing of getting on the train, being on the bus and having the big windows. I'm like, this is helping me be able to do the luxury cross-country train rides with my daughter, because she's getting acclimated for sitting, because we take 2 different buses to get over here. She's getting acclimated to public transportation too. And then I really have a desire to own or to have a Lamborghini and a Rolls Royce. Like, those are my top 2 luxury cars that I'm gonna have, and I'll be able to have the option to drive them or have somebody else drive me around in them. So I was like, oh yeah, I've like totally let go of the vision of trying to get a car. Like, I'm not supposed to get a car or have a new residency here or nothing, because I'm going to be moving and I'm not going to take any of this stuff with me. This is the only thing that could possibly make sense of all the stuff that I went through. And I'm like living out of all the clothes I have are summer clothes. They're all dresses. And oh, my last thing, I know my life be all over the place because I'm like squirrel. I said at the beginning of my life, Chris, I'm doing karaoke tonight. And I don't have a singing voice, but I have a voice, and they're just gonna get that. And yeah, of course you could, for sure, as long as I don't crash it. The other thing is, I've been talking about Lamborghinis, right? And now my phone is showing me that I emailed the people, I can do a test drive with the luxury cars. What's up, Ace? Yeah, this is a good sign. I've seen you several times today. I know, but I'm just charging my phone. I'm charging my phone. I'm on a live. So there's this place that you can rent out for like your birthday or like special occasions or whatever, and you can drive all the luxurious cars on the racetracks. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm about to sign myself up for this so I could get the feel of what it's gonna like having a Lamborghini. But I'm gonna get a yellow Lamborghini because yellow is one of my favorite colors. And that's what I'm gonna have. But yeah, so I'm coming to Dallas. Like, the other thing I was looking up was Galveston. I feel like I always say that wrong. I murder it. But I was looking into that too. But I was like, oh, maybe we could just live here and then I can travel over there, because there is a very prominent area for fishing, and my daughter's she wants to fish. And I was like, Dad, I don't want to take you fishing. Like, I don't want to do that. That's something your father should be wanting to do. So I have to do everything for my daughter. But oh, you have a CDL? Okay. Then you could definitely drive my Lamborghini. And oh, there's a very popular quote by Jim Rome, my white daddy. Right? Is it by Jim Rome? It might not be by Jim Rome. I'm just giving him the credit. But as far as like friends and having a circle, and a lot of people usually have a lot of friends, but they be fake friends. And they just make a comparison of like, that's why the bus has 40 seats and a Lamborghini has 2. Because your circle is supposed to be like small and tight and unique. And anyways, went on a whole rant. But yeah, I gotta go. And you asked me when's the next time I'm doing a live. Tomorrow. Tonight I'm gonna be at karaoke. I was gonna be like, oh, maybe I could do a live tonight, but I'm gonna be singing. And I'm gonna record it on my phone, and I'll post it here if you're interested in watching it. I'll do that. And so I'll do a live sometime tomorrow, but I don't have a set time. I'm gonna show you my license when you get here, and we can do a live together. Yeah, that'll be dope. Talk about and like the type of people you want to attract, and start journaling. Trust me. But I gotta go, and before I go, I gotta leave you with my messages. Damn, I only got 2 minutes. I leave you with my messages. I've been making them quick, sweet, short, to the point. one, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Chris, for engaging and keeping the conversation going. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. And I'll leave you with my 3 heartfelt messages that are near and dear to my heart and come directly from my life experience. And I hope that they provoke thought in yours and helps you to take action at a later date. And you're welcome, Chris. Hi, Daisy Plays. I like your name. Number 1, don't allow anybody to label you, including yourself. Okay, thank you, Chris. Including yourself, because those who want to label you want you to live in lack and not your purpose. Okay, and they want you to live and lead with the label so that you will live in lack and limitations. So don't allow anyone to label you, including yourself. Number 2, don't ever let anybody put you in a box, because those who try to put you in a box is simply because they cannot get out of theirs. And if you allow somebody else to put you in a box, they will then try to put you in a ditch. Ask me how I know. Thank you, Daisy. You have a great day too. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry you joined last minute. The other thing is, I've been timing myself, but when I get engagement, it makes me want to just keep talking. But I'm trying to go for 40 minutes a day on my live, no longer than 40 minutes. Anywho, have a great day, Daisy. And thank you, Chris. And you still ain't changed your names, Chris. I don't like this Baki Hanma 313. It sounds like a hibachi chef. Anyways, number 3, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. No worries. Don't apologize unless you did something wrong. Don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle, and the way you do that is by taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own rescue and saving yourself, because absolutely, positively, nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself. And if you take time to tap into yourself more and out of the world less, you will save yourself from living the consequence of the life that your parents want you to live, that society tries to create for you to live in, and the life that the school systems and the job systems try to mold for you to live within. And you were not born to simply work a job and pay bills and die. No, sir. No, ma'am. You were born to live your purpose. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll take whatever likes I get is just extra, because I already wake up liking myself. So anything I get is extra, and I do appreciate the 4 likes that I got and the few people who are watching me. The way to figure out what your purpose is to figure out what problem you were born to solve, because we were all born to solve a problem and make the world better while we're here, and more importantly when we're not, aka your legacy. So that's how you turn your life into a lifestyle. All right, I really gotta go. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great, amazing rest of the day, and I hope that you thank God for anything you ate or drink today, because it's a privilege. Trust me. Anyways, gotta go. Oh, my last thing. Don't forget that you are both a limited edition and an endangered species. So start acting like it. All right. Peace.